There isn't a gun big enough, a rope long enough, or an oven wide enough to accommodate his gigantic body. Now that the bitching is out of the way, let's get into the actual suicide note. I do not know how to read, write, or speak, so if you're reading this note, I salute you for your dedication, or at least your suspension of disbelief. I am dead now, and my only consolation is that I took a lot of bystanders with me. First, to the bitch that led me to this point. Listen, lady, it wasn't beauty that killed this beast. It was the machine gun fire and the leap from the Empire State Building that did it. And don't fool yourself with that beauty comment. You may be a horror movie 10, but I've seen you out of makeup and you're barely a 6. I remember when we first met, it was love at first sight. You weren't like any of the other virgin sacrifices. I'd never seen a blonde before. In retrospect, I wish it would have been a redhead that stole my heart. If Lucille Ball had discovered me instead of you, at least I would have gotten a sitcom out of it. There was a woman who knew how to treat a dark, handsome guy from a remote island. Still, we had some good times, didn't we? Heck, I fought a dinosaur for you. How many women can say that? I still fondly remember that night we spent together in my cave. You looked so beautiful in the moonlight. We were so happy, me slowly undressing you and stroking your soft skin, and you screaming in pleasure. Or maybe it was terror. I don't know, I'm a freaking gorilla. But all good things must come to an end. And you lured me away from my home with promises that I would be a big star on Broadway. I assumed you were going to put me in an audition for The Lion King, but instead you put me in chains and displayed me like some kind of freak. I don't know what you expected to happen next, but if chains couldn't hold a little Jewish guy like Houdini, I don't know why you thought they would hold me. For a few glorious minutes, I was free. But New York City was too much for a simple island boy like me. Manhattan traffic, the unending flashes from the paparazzi cameras, that goddamn Christmas Shoes song, I just couldn't take it anymore. So when I found you again, I decided to take you to the one place where we could finally get some peace and quiet. There, on the top of the Empire State Building, I declared my love for you. And you told me that you thought of me as just a friend. And that is why I jumped. To the fine citizens of Skull Island, thank you for your warmth and hospitality. I hope you all haven't been devoured by dinosaurs and giant spiders since I haven't been around to protect you. Now that you no longer have me to sacrifice to, I'd like to suggest that you should get the internet installed. It might give you some ideas about what to do with your newfound virgin surplus. Allrecipes.com has some peculiarly savory. What do you think I did with virgins? I'm a giant gorilla. To my brother Donkey, don't make the same mistakes that I did. That princess will never love you. Instead of throwing barrels at him, why don't you just ask out that nice plumber that you're so obviously infatuated with? To Peter Jackson, fuck you. You give a trilogy to a bunch of British midgets, but you make my fans endure a single 3-hour monstrosity? Get your priorities straight, man. And finally, to my remaining fans, don't mourn for me, because the animated feature has already been greenlit for a 2016 release. The king is dead. Long live the king.
Negative D!